I'm someone who gets bored very easily. And so I've always got to be doing something. My grandmother was the same way. And I feel like, one job is never enough, right? So,
Amen. So you were doing multiple jobs because you did the
yeah.
mayor
So,
thing while
you
you
know,
had
I mean, in all seriousness, though, I grew up learning that giving back to your community was a noble thing to do, and I've always done that. So even as I pursued my career in corporate communications, I felt like it wasn't enough. I wanted to give back to my community. I wanted to be able to see the difference that I was making, and so I managed to do a lot of things using creative time management.
So before we get too deep into the bio and the Q&A, I must ask you because Becca put the gun on the mantle, so we need to discharge it. How was she as an employee back in the day?
Becca was awesome. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, we hit it off immediately. I mean, it took us a while to piece together that I knew her grandparents, but Becca was doing presentations, executive communications, and I appreciated again her attention to detail and just her eye for what good design looks like. And I actually think I learned some things from her. So she was great to work with.
not to mention my winning personality,
And
Exactly.
obviously.
her humble demeanor, which is really, really
Right.
key.
Very
Really
Well,
key.
those things
efficient.
Now,
those go without saying,
a
right?
quick aside here again about Becca, and we'll get back on track. But so in the intervening years, you've probably come to learn that she's neurodivergent and talks about her challenges with the types of things that I experience having the same kind of affliction. Did you know, or were you aware back then about those proclivities, or does it make sense in retrospect?
Yeah, it makes more sense in retrospect. I'd say probably not a lot of us knew a lot about neurodivergence back then. But I think we've learned a lot as a society, and I have members of my family who are ADHD, and so yeah, I mean, I can see that about Becca. I see some of those things in myself as well. So I think that's part of the reason why we hit it off.
Perfect.
Neurodivergent people do tend to love other neurodivergent people, for what it's worth. Anyway, carry on.
So, can we talk a little bit about the landscape where you physically are? So, you guys, Redwood City, heart of Silicon Valley. I've lived out there for many, many years. I've been gone now for about 10 years. I'm curious to know what you're seeing from just a day in the life in that part of the world. When I left about 10, 12 years ago, it was still pretty jamming on the tech scene. Everybody was pretty bullish and buoyant, and social media was just kind of really coming on strong. And then we had this sort of colossal dip in the tech scene. We had Salesforce's issues downtown. What's the vibe out in that part of the world right now?